Inclina Domine aurem tuam ad me.
Biblios.
Et exaudime.
These sleeves are not going to work for this review. So yes, thematically speaking, Biblios is a game about buying books. There's 5 different categories presented here. You can see that I don't quite remember what each category was, but they're represented by 5 different die. 5 different dice. So there's a brown die, plurals, blue die, green die, orange die, and red die. Now throughout the course of the game, players are going to be collecting cards, and whoever has the most points in a particular color will win whatever the top number is at the end of the game. Pretty simple goal, but the way that it's executed is really pretty unique and has proven to be a lot of fun. The game plays 2 to 4 players, plays pretty well with all ranges of that. To give you an idea on how the turns work, which is important because the way that the turns work and the way that the game flows is why it is such a fun game, and it is a very fun game. So I'll show you a quick round on what a 3-player turn, a turn for a 3-player game would look like. I'm going to need 2 other players. So for a 3-player game, it's important that I show you some of these cards first, like what could potentially be drawn. First of all, there's just different numeric values for each of the 5 categories. That's fine. There's also cards that'll let me manipulate dice up or down by 1 number. So say it starts at 3. If I were to get a card, I could potentially move it up to 4 or move it down to 2. And if someone's collecting, the brown die and I'm moving it down, that's bad for them, but it could be good for me if I'm not collecting any brown. Now, how do you collect the cards? There's the interesting part. So you start out with a full deck of Biblios, and you alter the deck depending on the number of players. There's 3 of us. I'm going to be drawing a total of 4 cards. Now, I draw them one at a time, and I look at them. I take the first one, and I look at it. I put it in one of 3 places. I can put it in front of me, or I can put it in the auction pile, or I can put it face up into a public area here. But I'm looking at them one at a time. And I can only keep 1 card. So if I look at the first card and I decide, okay, this is my card, regardless of what the following 3 cards are, even if they're much better than what I've drawn, I cannot keep it. So let's say I do that. Say I grab this one. I say, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. It's a 1 for orange. So I know that I'm going to keep this. That'll be 1 point toward the orange category for me. I draw the next one, and I see that it's money. And, I'll go over money in just a second. But I say, okay, you know what? I don't want money, so I'm going to put that in the public category. Ultimately, there's going to be 1 card for each other player in this public category, and they're going to take turns, picking. They get the scraps, basically. I look again. Oh, it's another money card. I'll put that face up. So they're going to get the exact same amount. Here's another example here. I draw my last card. So I've already placed 1 in front of me. I can't change that. I've got 2 here. So the last one has to go into the auction pile. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, man. And they don't get to see it necessarily right away. But it's a 4 in the blue category, which is, in my opinion, much better than the one that I got. But I put that face down. The 2 other players then decide what they're going to split up. And in this case, it doesn't matter because it was both the same card. So they take that. And that's how the turns go. This continues until the entire deck is gone. And you've got, everyone's got their own hefty pile of cards. And in addition to that, there is a separate pile where everyone's been discarding 1 card from every round into this auction pile. The first half of the game's over when the deck's out. You then take the auction pile and you flip. You see what the card is, and you go around and you auction off this card. So this one in particular would let you add another number to the die. So at this point, you already kind of know which categories you're going for. You also might know which categories other people are competing in. Players then look at their hands, and they can bid money on each card. So I could say, okay, I'm going to bid 2. Michele and Bembe here could bid 3, and then Molly would bid 4, and we go on until someone is the highest bidder. Now you can bluff your way through this But if you bluff and you don't have the money, you get penalized pretty heavily. So it's something you need to be careful of when you're playing the game. If money pops up in the auction, which does frequently happen, you bid a number of cards. So, I would bid one card. And it doesn't necessarily have to be money card, just any card in my hand. So say if there's, a 3 money pops up, I could bid 2 cards and it'd be 2 ones maybe. And if I win it, I get a total of 1 extra money that I can spend in here. Now, the money does not equal points at all in the game. The only thing that matters in this entire game is the amount of points that you get from this card, from the amount of points that you get on the dice. Players count up their totals, and whoever has the most in each category scores that amount. Like I said, they each start at 3 points. You basically need to win at least 2 of these categories to even be in competition for the game. So that's Biblios. It's really it's a short, sweet game. It plays in about 30 minutes. The biggest negative is that the theme, which is, as you can see, it's kind of, there's monks and there's books and stuff in different categories. The theme is almost, it's there, it looks cool enough, but it's not a strong theme. That being said, it has no bearing on the gameplay. The gameplay is very unique in terms of a game of this size, or really in terms of any game. It's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it's one that I don't get to the table all that often. My wife's not a huge fan of it, and it's just one that I don't play all that much. That being said, it's one that I wish that I could play a lot more because it's easy to teach, it's fun, it's a nice light filler game that plays sort of unlike any of the other ones in my collection. I do really enjoy Biblios, and I'm going to keep it because it's in my opinion a really great game. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks.